Good morning, Key Stage 1, and welcome to your week 3, day 4 of your English learning. So in today's lesson, what we're going to be doing, we are going to be exploring features of a waggle text, and that's what a good one looks like. It's an example text of some good writing, and that waggle will be a postcard, which is one of our recount types of writing. I can discuss the features of a waggle. I can also identify these in a text. And I can even compare this to other texts. Starting off with our retrieval then, and our retrieval practice today is looking at the past tense and the present tense. We did lots and lots of work on the past tense and a teeny tiny bit of work on the present tense. So remember, past tense is something that has happened before now, and present tense is something that is happening now. And I've got the little endings of the words, I've got the suffixes there to help you remember which one's which. So if it's a regular past tense verb, it will have the ed suffix, the word will end in ed. And if it's a present tense regular verb, it will have the ing suffix, so the ing at the end. So I have all of these verbs down here, and what you need to do is you need to put them into the past tense or into the present tense. I will give you an example. So the first word is walked. Walked. I can look at the ending, I can look at the suffix and know that walked is a past tense verb. I can also put it in a sentence to try and help me. I walked to the shops. Okay, it happened before. I could say, yesterday I walked to the shops. In the past tense, I'm going to write walk. Walked. And make sure I've got my ed suffix. Walked. It's past tense. Now, each past tense one will have a pair to go with it. So it will have a present tense verb as well. So walked. Yesterday I walked. If I'm doing it now, I'm walking. Well done. So I could see if I can find walking. Here it is. And it's got the ing suffix to help me. Present tense. I am walking. I am walking to the shops now. So I'll copy that out. Walking. So that's my example of how you would do that. So what you need to do now is pause the video. You can discuss it, or you can get a piece of paper and copy down the table like I did and write all of your past tense verbs and all of your present tense verbs. Let's quickly go over the verbs so we know what we are writing. The first one is walked, pushing, asked, knocked, squeaking, climbed, knocking, walking, growled, pushed, asking, growling, squeaked, climbing. See if you can sort them into past tense and present tense. Pause the video now and good luck. And here are the answers. Well done if you've got them right. So I'll go over the past tense verb and then the present tense one as well. So past tense was walked, present tense walking, past tense asked, present tense asking, past tense knocked, present tense knocking, past tense growled, present tense growling, past tense squeaked, present tense squeaking, past tense climbed, present tense climbing, past tense pushed, and present tense pushing. You did not need to get them in that order, but you did need to get them in the correct columns. So well done if you did that. We're going to start today's lesson with a vocabulary focus, and that vocabulary focus is postcard. I know lots of you will know what a postcard is already, but we need to be super sure on what it is before we can write one. So a postcard is a noun, it is a thing. Let's read our definition then. So a postcard is a piece of thin card, often with a picture on one side, which you can write on and send to people without using an envelope. And I have a picture of a postcard on this slide as well to help you if you can't quite remember what one is. So remember, I have the definition at the top if you ever need to look back at that to help you. A postcard, a piece of thin card, often with a picture on one side, which you can write on and send to people. Let's see our questions to test your understanding of how well you know what a postcard is. So question 1, have you ever sent a postcard? If you have, who did you send it to? Where did you send it from? Question 2, when might it be best to send a postcard? When you're at school? When you're asleep? On a holiday or a trip? On your birthday? When's the best time to send a postcard? Normally, you would send a postcard when you're on a holiday or a trip. So when you've gone somewhere else, that's very exciting. And question number 3, why do you think people send postcards? Have a little chat with your grown-up. So most of the time, people would send postcards to tell other people about their trip. So maybe if you've gone on holiday, you might send a postcard to a friend to tell your friend about the amazing things you're doing on holiday. So this week we have been looking at the story of the 3 little pigs, and you all know the story really, really well now. But that is not where the story ended. The big bad wolf came back, and the big bad wolf is scaring everyone. And because the big bad wolf is back, the 3 little pigs have had to stay in the brick house, and they are not allowed to leave the brick house. So the 3 little pigs have been living in the brick house for quite a while now, quite a few weeks. So they have written Mummy Pig a postcard just to let her know how they are getting on in the brick house, because they can't go and visit her because the big bad wolf is around. So they have to make sure they stay indoors and stay safe. So they have written this postcard to Mummy Pig. Hi Mummy Pig. I hope you are safe, well, and happy. I am writing to tell you that Peter, Paul, and I are enjoying spending time together in my lovely little brick house. The weather is beautiful today and the sun is shining brightly. Everyone is smiling and thinking of you. We miss you and hope to see you soon. Lots of love, Percy. And then over here we've got something else. It says Mrs. Penny Trotter, 123 Muddy Lane, Pigtown, Snuffleshire, England, P1GZ, 4EVA. I wonder what that is. Before we go on to the features of a waggle, because this is the waggle here, this is the what a good one looks like. Before we go on to discussing the features, you can pause the video now if you think you've already spotted some features and tell your grown-up what makes this a postcard. How is this different to a story? Then on the next slide, we'll start discussing the features all together. So this is the activity that we are going to be doing today. So you will have this sheet of paper that you can print out, and it has the waggle, it has the postcard, and it has the key of the different features within the postcard. So you can print that off and give it a go. It would be useful if you have these different coloured pens or pencils, but if you don't have the different colours, you can just write where the greeting is, where the main part is, and I'll show you how to do that as well. So I'll do the first bit to show you what to do, and then I want you to decide if you can do it independently, if you can do it by yourself, or if you want to work with me. So we've got these different features. We've got the greeting, the main part, the closing, your name, so that's the main character's name who's writing the postcard, their address, who you're sending the postcard to, and a stamp as well. So I'm going to get my first coloured pen, which is a red pen, and I'm going to try and find where the greeting is. I need to make sure I read through the postcard to check which part it is. Hi, Mummy Pig. Okay, there's a clue there. It says hi, and that's how I would normally greet people. So the greeting is hi, Mummy Pig. So all you need to do is just underline it. If you don't have the different coloured pens, you can just do a little arrow and write greeting, just to show that that's where the greeting is. Then you need to go to the next feature, which is the main part. So read the postcard through and find which is the main part, the main bit of writing in the postcard. And for an extra challenge, think, is it written in the past tense or is it written in the present tense? If you think you know what you're doing, you can stop the video now and you can continue with this by yourself. Or if you think you need a bit of help going through it, just keep the video playing and we can work together on this one. So stop the video if you want to do it independently, and if you're ready to work with me, can you get your orange pen or pencil ready? So now we need to find out which is the main bit of the postcard. So let's read it through again. We've got, hi Mummy Pig, I hope you are safe, well and happy. I am writing to tell you that Peter, Paul and I are enjoying spending time together in my lovely little brick house. The weather is beautiful today and the sun is shining brightly. Everyone is smiling and thinking of you. We miss you and hope to see you soon. Lots of love, Percy. Mrs. Penny Trotter, 123 Muddy Lane, Pigtown, Snuffleshire, England, P1GZ, 4EVA. Which part do you think is the main part of the postcard, the main bit of writing? Okay, well done if you spotted it. So it's all of this bit here. So I'm just going to show the whole chunk of writing, that paragraph there. And I want you to see if it's in the past tense or in the present tense. It is in the present tense. We've got some words to help you to check that it is in the present tense. So we've got writing, enjoying, spending. The weather is beautiful today. The sun is shining, smiling, thinking. We've got all of those present tense verbs to show you that it is in the present tense. Okay, get the next colour then. And now we need to find the closing part. So I'll read the rest of it, which is the closing part. Lots of love, Percy, Mrs. Penny Trotter, 123 Muddy Lane. Which bit do we think is the closing? Very similar to when we're writing a letter. And the closing is the lots of love bit. Just that bit there. That is the closing part of the postcard. Next, we go on to your name. And it's not going to be your name, it's going to be the character's name. So who is writing the postcard? Is it Percy with a kiss, or is it Mrs. Penny Trotter? Get your green pens ready. And it is Percy. So that bit there, Percy at the bottom with a kiss, is the character's name. I know it's not your name, but it's the character's name who's sending the postcard. Next, we need the blue for their address. Well done if you've spotted it. So their address is this bit here. And their address is the name. So it starts with their name, Mrs. Penny Trotter. Then it tells me what house and what street they are, 123 Muddy Lane. What town or what city they live in, Pigtown. What county they live in, Snuffleshire. Which country they live in, England. And then we've got the postcode at the bottom. But you need to make sure you remember this is their address. Okay, the last thing is the stamp. And I haven't actually put the stamp on here. I've just shown where the stamp goes. And the stamp goes up here. And that's so that the postman can deliver the postcard to where it's supposed to be. Well done if you've got that right. I'm just going to annotate it as well for those of you that didn't have colour. Let's just go over it again. So the top bit was the greeting. Then this is the main part. Down here we have the closing. Then we've got your name. So when you're writing your own postcards, this is where your name does actually go. This bit is their address. And finally up here we have the stamp, or where the stamp would be if we had one. The stamp. There you go. Just check that this is what your piece of work looks like, and then we are ready to go on to the plenary. For those of you who did it independently, just check through your answers to see if you've got everything in the right place. So it starts off with the greeting, then it's the main part, the big orange bit, And what I've done is I've just underlined some key words. And these key words show that it's written in the present tense. So well done if you notice the main part was written in the present tense. Then we've got the closing, the character's name, which would be your name, their address, so the person that it's being sent to, and the stamp, or where the stamp should be if it was there. Well done if you got those answers correct. A quick discussion question then to see if any of you can really challenge yourself. So your discussion question is, how is it similar or how is it different to a story? So we read the story of the Three Little Pigs and now we have got a different type of writing. How is it similar or how is it different? Have a little think about the features and discuss this question with your grown-up. Here are some of the answers that you might have discussed. These aren't the only answers, but these are just some ideas that you could have gone through. So you could have said that it's similar to the story because it has the same characters as the story. It's got the Three Little Pigs and it's got Mummy Pig, and they're staying inside because of the big bad wolf. So you could have said that it's similar to the story because it has the same characters. You could have said that it has the same setting. So both of the story and the postcard are set in the brick house that was built by the third little pig. And the postcard has some description as well. So only a little bit, but it says the sun is shining brightly. And when we have description, that's what we usually find in a story. You might have said the differences is the main one is the structure. They look very different. So a postcard looks very different to what a story does. You might have noticed that the postcard is written in the present tense, but the story was written in the past tense. And the postcard is written in first person. So what that means is it's written from the pig's point of view. So the pig is the main character saying, I hope you are safe. I am. We are. So it's written from their point of view. But the story was written in the third person. So it was talking about the Three Little Pigs. It was talking about them as characters. Whereas this one is the pig is writing about himself. So those are just some of the ideas. It's okay if you didn't get them. As I said, these are not the only answers, but well done if you did discuss something similar to this. Plenary time then, and your plenary is a quiz. So your quiz, what feature is this? So look at the feature that's on the screen. What feature is it? It's the address. Well done if you got that correct. What feature is this one? That is the closing part. Feature is this? Or what feature should be in this? The stamp. Fantastic. What feature is this one? It is the greeting. Well done if you got that correct. And what feature is this one? It is the main part. Well done. What feature is this? It is your name or the character's name, but it would be where your name is written when you write your own postcards. And that was the end of the quiz. So well done if you could remember all the different features of the waggle. So let's reflect on your learning today and see how successful you were. So today you were exploring features of the waggle of the postcard. think in your head. Could you discuss the features of a waggle? Could you talk to your grown-up and think which ones were where? Could you also correctly identify these in a text? So with your colour coding, could you remember or could you know where the different sections were? And finally, could you even compare it to other texts? So that was your discussion question when you were comparing the postcard to the story. Looking at our learning journey tomorrow then. So tomorrow it is the bank holiday. You're not going to have any work from me. I want you to enjoy the day and then I'll work with you again on Monday for some more amazing work. So thinking about Monday, we are going to be writing in the present tense. We are going to be planning and writing our own postcards. So you can have a little think about that over the weekend, but have an amazing time and we'll work together on Monday.